Good evening. Prominent Maori leader Sir Graham Latimer has this evening told a Northland court he'll sell his farm to pay tax debts. Sir Graham has admitted 3 charges involving unpaid taxes, understood to total hundreds of thousands of dollars. David Jameson reports.
Sir Graham had little to say at the end of tonight's hearing.
May we ask you a few questions?
No.
Do you like to make any comment, please?
Thank you all the same.
Sir Graham has admitted 2 charges. The first for filing a false income tax return from 1988 to 1992, and the company which runs his farm south of Whangarei faced a similar charge. A third charge involved Sir Graham's failure to register for GST. If convicted, he can expect a hefty fine. Earlier today, Sir Graham had sat quietly in the back of court with his wife and family. He entered guilty pleas to all 3 charges. One Network News understands the total amount involved is just over $700,000. Sir Graham holds undisputed mana. When Dame Whina Cooper died last year, she passed on her mantle of Māoridom to him. Sir Graham is also chairman of the New Zealand Māori Council, but today the council wouldn't discuss the court case. Neither would Sir Graham's Tai Tokerau Trust Board, which last year was on the brink of receivership with its financially troubled Waitangi Resort Hotel. The judge will give his decision in 3 weeks. David Jameson, One Network News.
Kaitaia residents have put their protest to paper tonight, petitioning to save their hospital. Thousands of signatures were handed to regional health authority chiefs at a public meeting, and thousands more took their views to the streets earlier in the day. The RHA says it made no decision on the hospital's future, but residents have warned they're ready to fight in court. Marimena Roderick with the story.
They marched today and they were back in force again tonight. Kaitaia residents taking a stand against health chiefs taking their hospital.
We think we've got a special case up here in the north, so we're prepared to push it right to court if necessary.
Tonight the RHA was listening.
There's enormous community support for retaining and expanding the hospital here, and it indeed is part of what helps us make our decision.
But residents want a firm promise these doors will stay open, along with services like caesarean surgery.
It more or less saved my life last time, and it does really worry me.
She's not alone. Up to 7,000 people, young and not so young, took their fears to the streets of Kaitaia earlier today.
Okay, that's what it's about, people. We're marching for our hospital, for the retention of our hospital.
They suspect the RHA will downgrade the hospital to a super clinic. And for those in the far north tonight, that's just not healthy. Marimena Roderick, One Network News.
And a small group of protesters tried to meet the Prime Minister as the National Caucus continued its meeting in Paihia. The demonstrators wanted to speak about the fiscal envelope, but the delegation, led by vocal protester Mike Smith, refused to talk to Jim Bolger after a disagreement over the venue for the meeting. Government MPs also heard proposals from ACC on how to cut its budget by a quarter. Plans include making injured people pay for the first couple of visits to a doctor and tougher tests for those getting compensation for more than a year. While government MPs are distancing themselves from the issue, ACC says it's simply starting the process of public debate. 2 high flyers have tonight made a shock takeover bid for the merchant bank they founded. Sir Michael Fay and David Richwhite want to take back private control of their company. And they're offering all other investors 80 cents a share, more than double the current price.
We'll have to wait for the independent director's report as to the value of the company, really to decide whether 80 cents is a fair price or not.
Fay Richwhite puts the move down to the public's recent lack of confidence in the company. One of our top politicians has tonight told Australia recent Trans-Tasman spats have created a feeling of mistrust between our 2 countries. In Sydney tonight, Foreign Minister Don McKinnon again raised the Trans-Tasman aviation dispute. He said New Zealand deserves better treatment from Australia. Caroline Bennell with the story.
If Australia thought the Trans-Tasman aviation dispute would be forgotten by the new year, they were wrong.
Things have not been going quite as well as they ought to between 2 countries that are pretty close together. And I have to say that certainly in the last 3 months, New Zealand Cabinet Ministers can say that we have reached an all-time low in the relationship with the Australian government.
Last year too, the New Zealand film and television industry had expected to be included in the Australian market as local product. That issue too is still on the agenda.